Team Clownfish. Hey, what's up, Drag Racers? I'm Maddox.
And I'm Logan.
And for Season 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race, every week we will be bringing you our top 3 moments of the week, the shade of the week, our favorite queen of the week,
our least favorite queen of the week, our favorite look on the runway, and our predictions for next week's episode.
So stay tuned. Okay, so my first favorite moment of the week is Team Milk during the filming of the horror movie. I thought all of them were really great. I mean, except for Trinity K. I mean, she pulled through in the end, but like Bianca and Courtney together were boom, like one take. They were ready. They were actresses, and the Academy Award goes to Jocelyn. Jocelyn actually really surprised me. She was actually really funny in the movie. I mean, good for you, Jocelyn, because you were not on
the radar.
Yeah, you weren't on my radar before this.
At all.
Darian Lake was actually really good as the head in the box. And Milk was decent. But I'll also say a honorable mention to Ben De La Creme from the other team, because she was turning the party during the filming.
She was on the wrong team.
She was definitely on the wrong team, because that team was a hot damn mess, and we will talk about all the hot damn mess that they were in a little bit. But what is your first favorite moment?
My first favorite moment came about 6 seconds into the episode when Bianca, Team Clownfish, said Laganja. Irritating, young, foolish. Now, bitch, that was the nicest way you could describe her at this point of what we know of her and what we've seen.
Yeah.
Even when they were coming in and she was like, "Come on, Natch." What the hell does that even mean?
She doesn't even know.
What does "come on, Natch" mean? I think queens just start making shit up.
She overdoes it. She, like, Alyssa Edwards is her mother. And Alyssa Edwards is naturally funny. And I mean...
And doesn't realize it.
Yeah, and it does take you a while to, like Alyssa. But
when people are trying to
Laganja is just... Oh, honey. I was like, girl,
that just gave me, like, shivers. Because I'm so irritating.
It is very.
And I host a little small viewing party at a restaurant in Chelsea, and anytime Ganja comes on the screen, people are like, ugh.
My second favorite moment of the week is Gia Gunn being dumb as rocks. She is one of the dumbest people I've ever met. And I met her last night officially for the first time, and she was dumb as rocks. I mean, I don't get it. Have you never watched TV? Have you never read a book?
She clearly hasn't read a book.
They were based in the 80s, and they said DeLorean, and, well, first of all, she couldn't even read the word. She's like, DeLorean? What is that? What is that? And they're like, it's a car from the 80s. And she's like, oh, I don't know. I thought it was like an ancient dildo.
Like, that's not funny.
It isn't funny. You're dumb as rocks. And the other team were like in black and white. What was that about? And then the producer says, well, don't you think that has something to do with them being based in the 60s? That's why it's in black and white. And then it's like a long
like literally like this. She goes,
no.
Hashtag yikes. My second favorite moment came in the mini challenge. When they were given 10 minutes to get into some sort of beach look, and Courtney Act was runway ready.
She was in full drag.
Makeup, tuck, and then you look at Gia Gunn, and she's runway ready.
Full
and you're
drag.
like, girl, how you two get in drag in 10 minutes? Good for you, I guess, but I like to take a little more time, maybe put
a little
time to let my face set and like cook and get together, and I like to maybe have a drink, maybe put on lip liner.
Nobody needs that.
No, not if you're an Asian transsexual. No, you don't.
In Untucked, again, it's another talk about sex and drag. It was actually brought up by Trinity K this time, because she was all about Miss April Carry-On's booty. And I was just like, oh, okay. It was like a lot of Kai talk. It's not that I wouldn't have sex with another drag queen, but we're not going to be in drag. We both going to be boys. Darren Lake said she's against Kai, like she won't have sex with another drag queen.
Girl, you don't get to have options. You don't get to be picky. You are gonna take whatever the fuck the good Lord gives you and deal with it.
I'm gonna go to that part of shade.
That wasn't shade, that's honest. I have been real good the first 2 episodes. It was time. It was time. It's time for me to have my good first shade moment, so call me a bully. Bring it on.
So they're all like, well, if you had to choose or a gun to your head, and she's like, I'll take Bullet. And everybody pauses for a second, and then they start laughing, and Bianca's like, I was thinking, who the hell is Bullet?
That was her dumbest box moment. Bullet.
How can you shade another drag queen from like being in a relationship with them or having sex with them when you are a drag queen?
Damn thing.
And like we already have to deal with that enough with boys being stupid.
Anyone says something to me, I'm like, yes.
What's your next favorite moment?
Shady apes. I'm gonna make this short and simple. Mother, you ain't one to call nobody an ape. Moving on. I ain't gonna be called racist, but you can't be calling no one shady ape. No. I'm a shady ape, and I admit I'm a shady ape. But girl, she said all these shady apes threw me under the bus. Hashtag shady apes. Good for you, bitch. You got a good one in before your exit.
Bianca versus Trinity K. Bonet about Beyonce.
I thought there was going to be a fist fight.
Girl, first of all, look, I am a Beyonce stan. And, I mean, Bianca wasn't saying anything bad about Beyonce, so that's fine. She was just like, girl, she's pretty. Like, other people that have impersonators are like exaggerations of themselves, like Cher. Like, someone can put on makeup and be crazy and look like Cher. Someone can put on makeup and look like Dolly Parton.
I've never seen a Beyonce.
Yeah, someone can do like a dramatic makeup look and look like Diana Ross.
Lady Gaga,
because these are girls that wear like crazy hairs and crazy makeup and they have like a signature look to them. Bianca goes, Beyonce's a hard one to do. You can dance it, you can lip sync it, but if you don't really look like her, And let's face it, Trinity looks more like Sammy Davis Jr. with a Beyonce wig on. Girl, I almost fell to the floor. I was like,
well, I don't know if she meant that before or after she puts her flipper on. And why does your flipper, on a side note, still have this much gums?
Girl, she's trying to keep it realistic. And then they're like arguing back and forth about Beyonce. And then Bianca's like, okay, calm down, girl. You're being very sensitive. And she's like, I'm not sensitive. And she's like, oh yeah, that's right. You're Beyonce.
And in between those two comments, Bianca, they pan to her at her mirror and she's like, yeah, girl, that's the answer. Yeah. Now, if you know Bianca, those are the shady little comments that you hear her say about someone, you're like, ooh, she do not like that person.
No.
But when she said, oh, I forgot, girl, you're not sensitive. You're Beyonce. Face turn, repaint. I was like, girl, Trinity, you got under that skin.
Just stop. Again, I didn't write anyone, but like, what are we gonna say?
I'm gonna say, Bianca's Drag Race, start your engines. It's amazing how many people live for Bianca Del Rio.
It really is. I really did like Bianca this week, and I liked, like I said before, Ben de la Creme. She was awesome.
There hasn't been enough of her for her to grow
yeah,
yet.
like, but her personality, like, in the workroom, they don't show her enough, but, like, she's good at what she does.
And someone said it, that they all have their little quirky personalities, but when they go on the runway, they're them. Yeah. And she's not. It's always like, girl, I can't. Until I see the other side of you, I'm like, I don't know if I could deal with all that at once. I put Bianca. Hands, I mean, I'm sorry, she's intelligent. She says correct things that people need to listen to. Trinity, she wasn't trying to be, oh, you want me to be black? No, she wants you to be funny because you're not.
Lord Jesus, mother.
I don't agree.
I put Vivacious as my worst queen of the week. I really can't with her. Like,
I have the deepest spot in my heart for her.
You really do, and I don't get it. And then she had on that little wrinkly pink wig.
She got that wig at Ricky's.
And I was like, why are you wearing that? And then she clearly put in, like, foundation because her face was just, like, one color, and I was like,
it. She ran out of time, girl. 10 minutes. The challenge on the runway was your best drag. Now I want you all to realize that was some of those queens' best drag. Jocelyn, I'm talking to you in your shady ass little gold dress that you got at fucking Strawberry and your little headband. Yeah. No, you are my worst queen of the week. They say best dress and you come out in that little tutu fucking romper. Get the hell out of here. And a close second was Ben de la Creme in that little I'm gonna prance around outfit. That ain't your best drag. That big hat that you were wearing in the workroom with the matching dress was better than that. Sorry, Jocelyn, but that little gold dress did it for me. You need to go back, take a seat at home, and audition again next year. Because, girl, I can't. It pissed me off. I was sitting there and I was like, this is her best drag.
My favorite on the runway was Trinity K. Bonet.
Yep,
I'm
me
sorry.
Too. Girl.
Listen, she served that runway something so fierce, and she paints for her nerve because the before and after is so shockingly different.
It is like,
I'm like, what? Who? Where and how? Is that what? I love a black queen that wears color. That orange looked like heaven on your skin.
You looked beautiful.
And you had like, it matched your, I can't even talk. You had me gagged. I was like,
your makeup, your hair was gorgeous. Woo! The fact that it was like to the side, you had the big gorgeous earrings.
I might say that was the best a black girl has ever looked on that runway.
It is damn close.
I mean, who did we have before? Dita Ritz. Oh, y'all know I'm still upset about Dita Ritz. How did she get on the show? Anyway, back to Trinity K. Bonet.
Gorgeous. Everything. 10s across every board.
I lived for every second of that. I was like,
if she just did that and shut up, I would like her.
I was like, girl, you better work. You better work. Now, that was someone's best drag.
Yes.
She pulled out a gown.
And someone tells me that ain't even her best. I think she had that and she said, this will get me through. Girl, because you know she's going to come on that runway one day and we are just going to fall.
I will say that. She turned looks. I don't really like her personality.
Beautiful looks. Put together looks.
Her looks are turned.
Clean.
In her performance, look up her performances on YouTube. She turns
when
the party.
She did.
She turns
I
the
believe
party.
it was MBU, Miss Black Universe. And she had that straight hair. And she did radio. And the fan hits her. And she goes, whoosh, girl, done. I'm sorry. She is clean. She is pageant. She is beautiful. She's put together. Girl, just stop talking.
She turned the runway. And I felt like Courtney turned it too. I mean, I think Courtney needs to wear more makeup though. You had on like the lightest pink lip I've ever seen in my entire life. I can't.
She's Pepto-Bismol.
Like, I really cannot. Okay, so Milk and Adore won the mini challenge. I don't know why, but
I'll never understand why.
Milk, as a boy, really gets my life and turns my party. So
I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
I concur. Yes.
Girl, that
up
is
without
a
no
fine
nose
man.
in my door.
That is a fine man.
Ooh.
And then Team Milk won the main challenge. So their movie was miles better than the second movie, which got crickets from the judges.
No, it didn't. It got one person going.
Yeah, that girl at the end, she was trying.
And RuPaul looked over her like this.
Queen, stop. Darian Lake won the full shit and
Good
caboodle.
for her. She took that little roll of the head and turned it.
And look, last week she was in the bottom. This week she won. So that's how you turn the party. That's how you bring it back, Gert.
Yes, ma'am. Special shout out to the moment when you said if Trinity didn't stop fucking up, you were going to punch her in her box.
Yeah, that was funny.
Because she needs a good punch.
I called the bottom last week. I said it's Vivacious. She gonna be in there. I didn't know who else was gonna be in the bottom. It just happened to be April Carry-On, another girl who we never mentioned because she's boring. That's
she had that cute umbrella.
Umbrella idea was cute because it was like blue string.
And I like that she held it the whole time. Girl, when they were talking to her, she moved that umbrella over here and then put it back. Girl, good for you. That is called commitment because you know her arm was like...
And they did a song, Shake It Up, by Selena Gomez, which I had never heard. So if I was in the bottom two, I would have been gagged.
That little wiglet stayed on April's head for your nerves. April was like she was playing Dance Dance Revolution at Chuck E. Cheese. She was just all over town.
I mean, I understand, like, sometimes your runway look is not the appropriate look to perform in, but oh, I hate when these queens just like get down to a bra and panties. I'm just like,
girl, you should have kept your little.
You don't have no. First of all, how do you not have on any undergarments? Like I have on. I'm a thin queen, and even I wear undergarments.
I'm a fatso, so I wear double.
I'm like, how don't you? You don't have on an all-in-one or nothing, girl. You just have on a bra and panties under that costume. Okay, good for y'all queens that y'all could just wear like one pair of tights and some panties. Vivacious dancing around in that goddamn cone outfit had me upset. And then when they go, if you're upset as I am, I was like, girl, I'm not upset. Bye. The predictions for next week, they're doing a musical week next week. So, I mean, a lot of times when someone is always bragging about what they do, they do really bad at the challenge that has to do with what they do. It's a singing challenge, and we have two singers from Idol, and we saw in the clip they're already battling each other because they're like, who can out-Mariah Carey each other? It's like, girl. But I like Adore.
I do too.
I mean, she was ill-prepared this week, but I still liked her.
Ill-prepared was putting it real cute. She got read down on the runway.
She did. So, who do we think is going to be in the bottom? Well,
I'm all really gaggy with my predictions.
I don't know, because I usually say
Laganja. I think somehow you're going to fuck up this musical theater challenge. I think people are going to have had it. I think you're going to get a critique on the runway that's going to put you through it, and they're just going to be like, maybe you need that snap of being in the bottom two to get your life together. But I'm going to say Laganja.
Because it's kind of acting as well, and Trinity K was not about the acting. Neither was Gia Gunn. Like, Gia Gunn did not do
that was going to be my next one. Laganja and Gia.
Who do you guys think is going to be in the bottom two next week? We are saying Gia Gunn, Laganja, maybe Trinity K.
The people that suck at acting.
Who do you think will win the singing and acting challenge next week? I think Bianca's going to do well. She's done a lot of musical theater.
Yeah, but girl, I heard her sing when I lived with her, and it wasn't always that cute, so...
I mean...
Girl,
you don't have to have the best voice to be on Broadway. Wendy Williams was on Broadway.
I think Courtney could really do well.
She probably will do well, because she
could do really well.
She had a record contract. Like, she did really well on her season of Idol.
Tell us who your favorites were from this week down below.
Also do that.
And tell us who you want to go home and who you've had it with.
Thank you guys for watching Team Clownfish, as always. So tune in next week to find out what's the tea.
What's the tea? Yo, tell me what's the tea? CMaddoxBiitch.
She's been tweeting like, oh, I'm the most hated person on Drag Race ever. And I'm like, no, that still goes to Mimi. I'm first. There's one thing that Mimi's first at, and that's being the most hated. So, Mimi, good for you, girl. You still have your title.